And we are live, people. Welcome to the channel. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, your favorite Manchester United channel. And today is your Wednesday, your midweek news show. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the latest news and talking points related to Manchester United all in one place, so you don't have to go anywhere, guys. I hope everyone's having a good week. It's been a while since we've touched base. We haven't played, or we won't be playing for a while. Our next game, guys, is on Sunday. So it's been a while since we touched base. We didn't have a show on Monday, guys. So this is your time, your chance to get your word in, guys. Your chance to give your opinions, express yourself. It's been a while, guys, since the last game. The last game, which was a loss. And it's been a bit negative. When we lose and we have to wait almost 2 weeks for our next game, it's not the best feeling. It's not the best environment. No one likes it. You don't like it, and I don't like it. It's a very strange situation, especially supporting a club like Manchester United, where we are used to playing maybe even multiple games a week. But today, guys, today we have for you on today's show, as you can see, Sesko. Benjamin Sesko has been named the PFA Fans Player of the Month for February. We're going to talk about Sesko, touch on that briefly as well, guys. Say what you want about Sesko. Leave your comments in the chat. As usual, we have Cunha, who is talking about Manchester United in his interview. We're going to look at we're going to see what Cunha has quickly said in an interview about Manchester United. We also have news, guys, that Ineos might scrap the Manchester United stadium, or at least the one with the pointy tent. So there's news, guys, that the pointy tent stadium that was proposed to be built might be scrapped for a cheaper one. Which doesn't have all of the points. Basically, we're not going to go all out and spend 200 million, it looks like. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to look at that news together and see where it's coming from and see how legit that is. We also have news, apparently, guys, that our transfer priorities have shifted. Have they? Have our transfer priorities shifted? According to some news, we are shifting our priorities. We have persistent injuries, apparently. I don't believe our injuries are any worse than anyone else's, but apparently we have persistent injuries, and we are actually looking for a centre back. I did say before, guys, that defense, even though we did buy a few defenders, and defense is a position that we are actually stocked because of the 3-4-2-1 system, playing 5 at the back. We actually have a lot of defenders, but our defenders are very, very injury prone, guys, if you actually think about it. So we could be changing transfer priorities. So we're going to talk about that as well, guys. What else on today's show? Any news? Maguire has spoken, so we're going to quickly look at the Maguire quotes, and he's spoken about the youth. I'm going to bring that to your attention, people. And last but not least, Yamal. Yes, the boy genius Yamal has spoken, and he said something interesting when he spoke about the Premier League, and he spoke about pace versus technique. Essentially, pace and power versus technical ability. Something that we on this channel have already spoken about, and we will probably continue to speak about. So today, guys, before we start the show, make sure you, as usual, smash that like button, subscribe if you are new, turn on your notifications. Big up the chat, big up Turkish in the building. I hope you are good. Big up the community. I hope everyone's having a good good week. Hope everyone's having a good week. So yeah, here we go, guys. First and foremost, Benjamin Sesko is named a PFA Player of the Month for February. First question I have to ask the chat is, if you're being honest, if you're being impartial, would you have voted? Because this is a fans vote. It's not the official PFA award. It's the fans vote. Was he the best performer in February that month? I know that month he scored at least 3 goals for us. I think he came off the bench twice. And I remember him coming off the bench against West Ham and scoring the equalizer, and I believe another game where he scored the winner. The game that he started, the recent games he started were the beginning of March, end of February as well. In terms of his general performances, I think he's got a bit better. He's not the finished article, nowhere near. But I think my thing is hopefully by the end of, not the end of, by the beginning of next season, we'll understand Benjamin Sesko a bit more. The difficulty, of course, is where and when to play him, understanding his attributes, understanding his profile for me, and deciding what games to play him in and what games to not play him in. I think that's the next challenge for whatever manager that we have. All in all, as I've said before, I didn't expect many things from Sesko. I thought that Cunha and Buma would be the ones to carry the goals. I did say Sesko will spend this year, as he should, getting used to the league, getting used to the pace of the league, getting used to the team, getting used to the country, all these things that Cunha and Buma have already done. So what he's doing right now is kind of what I expected. Not starting every game, coming on, playing some games here or there, getting minutes, scoring goals. This is kind of what I expected from him this year. So my expectations are just met with Sesko. I don't think he's exceeded my expectations, and I don't think he has gone below my personal expectations. He's just met my expectations. He's been steady. And I want to find, it will be very interesting if, for instance, Benjamin Sesko ends on, let's say, 9 goals or something this season. And Zexi, who's not a goal scorer, in his first season scored about 7 or 8. And it'll be interesting to see, just by scoring 1 or 2 more goals than Zexi, how much praise, how much worship Benjamin Sesko gets, as opposed to how much praise and worship Zexi would have got. Because I keep saying, I don't see a big difference between the two. There is a difference between the 2 players. But if Sesko's an 8, Zexi's a 7. And if Zexi's a 7, and then Sesko's a 6. Like, there is a small difference in the players, but not a big difference, I think, personally. So all in all, I'm happy with Benjamin Sesko. You guys let me know about your expectations of Benjamin. Has he met your expectations? Did he deserve the PFA Fans Player of the Month award? Yeah, comment below, guys. Let me know what you are feeling about Benjamin Sesko. I am content. I think that is where I am with Benjamin Sesko. I'm satisfied with what I see from him. I know I can see a lot more, and I'm going to expect and demand more next season from him. So that's where I am. Comment below, guys. Let me know what you are thinking. Let's move on to our next story. So that's Benjamin Sesko winning the PFA Fans Player of the Month. Now let's have a quick look at Cunha chat. Cunha's always speaking, isn't he? Someone's always putting a camera or a microphone in front of Cunha. Always. I feel like when we are not playing, there's always a Cunha interview or some Cunha quotes from somewhere when we are not playing. Maybe it's his character. I think we're starting to understand Cunha's character is a bit, how would I describe it? It's a bit like Bruno. I've always compared the 2 Portuguese speakers in terms of the way they see football, in terms of the way they are. I believe the main character in the team. They both want to be the main character in the team. They both play football their way. You both kind of have to play through Cunha to get the best of Cunha, and you kind of need to play through Bruno to get the best from Bruno. And I feel like Cunha's a bit eccentric. Is that the way? Is that the best way to describe Cunha, guys? Yeah, maybe that's the best way. So it's good for me that when Cunha speaks, because Cunha, he comes across like he loves the football club. He actually acts like a Manchester United fan. He does, guys. It's really incredible to listen to and to absorb. So this is Cunha on Manchester United. He says, at no point do I think about the negative side of Manchester United. Wow. For me, it's an extraordinary club. I joke that the giant is sleeping and that we are going to wake it up. Guys, if that doesn't fill you with confidence, I mean, words are words. But Cunha usually says stuff like this. He clearly thinks of Manchester United as the giant that we were. That's how he sees us. That's what he wants us to be. And he's here to get us back there. And he keeps saying it. This is what he keeps saying, guys. He's saying the right things for me. And all I can say about Cunha, personally, people, is that usually when he speaks, he's always bringing up the club, saying how much he loves the club. He's saying all the right things to endear himself to the fan base. All the right things. So, big up Cunha. A big up Cunha. TK in the building. Big up T Kizzles, my guy. He says, if not Sesko, then who? It's obvious. That's TK says it. If it's not Sesko who won it in February, then who's it going to be? No, just putting a question out there, guys. Are there any other performers from other clubs in February that you think could have won it, would have won it? Just putting a question out there, people, about because I know Manchester United fans, there's a lot of us. So anything fan related, voted for, yeah, we're going to have a good say. We're going to have a good say in it. So big up T Kizzles in the building. Yeah, really nice stuff from Cunha. Like I said, this is the off season. When I mean off season, I mean we haven't had a game and we're not going to have a game for 11-day stretch. Another 5 days. The game's on Sunday. So this is the news, guys. This is the kind of stuff that we're reporting, that are being reported to us. Stuff like this. So yeah, quickly, let's mention it and let's move on, guys. Let's talk about business. Let's find out what Ineos are doing with the stadium, guys. You guys remember that little tent with the little points on it? That pointy tent that looked like some sort of spider web. I don't know what it looked like. It looked interesting. Apparently, as you can see on your screen, guys, the news that I have found, Ineos could strap the planned tent. That tent canopy roof could be scrapped. And the reason, as you can imagine, why it is going to be scrapped or potentially could be scrapped, according to this tweet, according to this information, is cost. It's going to cost too much money. Apparently, according to this tweet from Stretford Paddock, the future, or should I say the future? Imagine the future. Mask off. Mask off. Anyway, the feature was estimated to cost around £200 million. And removing it could reduce the overall budget for the 100,000 seat stadium. First and foremost, guys, let's not forget it's 100,000 seat stadium. I believe Wembley, which is the largest stadium in the country, has only 90,000 seats. So if this goes ahead, this will be the largest stadium in the country. In the country. I've just realized that. Just in case I didn't realize it before. 100,000 seats, guys. So many things are going in my head right now. I'm thinking about the ticket prices. I'm thinking about Ineos raising the prices, freezing people out. I'm also thinking, can we fill 100,000 seats? capacity at the moment is 76,000, and on an average day we get around 74. We don't fully fill it. Maybe people cancel, all these things. There's many reasons why someone doesn't turn up at the game. But do we fill our 76,000 seats for us to build a 100,000 seat stadium to fill? And if we do fill it, it's definitely not Manchester. You're gonna fill it with people coming from all around the world. So there's a few things going on running through my mind right now when I'm reading this tweet, and hopefully you guys are gonna weigh in and give me some chat about this. If you guys got any chat about the stadium, how you feel about the stadium, because it seems as if the plan is still to try and get the government involved and make this a project for the local council in terms of jobs and all of these things, rather than just getting Manchester United to come up with all the money. So I think that is still the plan. So we will keep an eye on this, guys. We'll keep an eye on this. This matters, because once this gets the go ahead, if it gets the go ahead, where's the money gonna come from? Are we gonna see more people get fired from Old Trafford while this is getting built? Is Radcliffe gonna go to Carrington and go, by the way, no more tea ladies, you're gone, we need to save more? Keep an eye on this, guys. As a community, it's good to understand, I believe, where we're going, where the money is being spent, and where our future lies as a football club. Big up Jerry in the chat, says just popping in to say hi and leave a like and comment before footy. Big up Jerry, man. It's been a while, Jerry. Good to see you, my friend. Be careful, man. I've started footy myself, guys. You know me, I'm doing my Sunday league, and my gosh, like I keep saying, every Sunday league game, I'm limping. I'm an old man, so yeah, just be careful. Be careful, Jerry. Be careful, Jerry. Anyway, let me know what you guys are thinking about the stadium. Big up everybody. Let's move on about something else, guys. Let's see what else is there to talk about. I saw this also on the timeline, guys. Mazraoui being back, and I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much on this, guys, unless, of course, anytime I say I'm not going to spend too much on this, if I see the chat is popping off and people want to talk about something, then we will just sit and we will talk about it. But last time I checked, guys, Mazraoui played the last game. I think he might have come off injured, but he played the last game, didn't he? So he hasn't missed a game. He just played the last game. Might have had a knock, but I don't know why this is a big thing. He's back in training like he's been missed for the last few months, and he hasn't been missed. He's been fit, no? Or am I losing my mind, guys? Am I losing the plot? What's TK saying quickly? TK in the chat, my guy. No new stadium should ever be funded by public money. You're a billionaire, says T Kizzles, my guy. Taxpayers are already getting bent by their municipal and federal governments. Sorry, guys, I'm a bit ill. Yeah, TK in the chat, as usual, is making the point. This is how billionaires get rich. I always remind you, this is why I hate billionaires. Because billionaires, most of them, they become rich by governments giving them money, governmental contracts. The whole point of being rich, yeah, because don't forget, as a government, you are in control of the largest amount of cash ever. You, as the prime minister, whoever you are, president, you have trillions and trillions of dollars in your hands. You can't siphon it off and give it to yourself, but there's ways to do it. There's ways to do it. And most billionaires, Elon Musk, Trump, all of these guys, they get rich out of the public money. Governments give them your taxpayer money and invest in whatever they're doing. Whatever they're doing. Sometimes they don't need to return the money. And then these billionaires will stand up and say, I've worked hard for this money. You got to work hard. They'll tell us how hard we have to work while they get free money from the government, which is our money. That's how a lot of them get rich. Factually. Factually. So TK in the chat is right. You're a billionaire. You bought the club. if another billionaire had bought the club, he would have bought, he would have rebuilt the stadium with his own money as well. So you, the billionaire, want the public to spend money, the government to spend money, our money, to rebuild your stadium so you can get rich or richer. Guys, that is how it works, unfortunately. That's how it works. So TK in the chat, he spoke some real shit. So big up T Kizzles. Big up Mazraoui. Let's move on, guys. Transfer priorities. This one's gonna be very interesting. Have we shifted transfer priorities a little bit? All this talk, guys, about midfield. And I'm sure we will still get midfielders. But I saw this and I thought, you know, let me bring this to my chat's attention. Because I've been thinking about this for a while, guys. Just in, Manchester United are now targeting centre-backs for the summer due to persistent injuries, with Nottingham Forest's Murillo a standout option. He combines youth, Premier League know-how, and a no-ego attitude, exactly what Ineos wants in big stage players without drama. Ineos sound like some sort of like we want humble players. We want, bro. You're not some sort of slave master, bro. Like you need, like, what is this? No ego attitude, bro. You know that I liked the whole Premier League know-how but the no ego attitude. I'm like, what is a no ego attitude? I kind of understand what they're saying. I just wish they would have worded that better. Murillo isn't agitating for a transfer, but competition from Liverpool, Chelsea, and Real Madrid could push a move, particularly if Forest have faced relegation. Centre-back wasn't a top priority. The focus was left back, left wing, and a midfielder. And I believe as a community, we've spoken about that. And we can kind of agree that a midfielder, maybe a left winger, and potentially left back were the priorities. But according to this tweet, according to Pete Hall, Lisandro Martinez's injuries, Matheus de Ligt's injuries, those two players' consistent injuries, which, and I've said this before, the Lisandro stuff he's done. Lisandro is done. He will never play a whole season without getting a big injury. Every season, Lisandro will probably play about 10 games. So we need to make a decision about Lisandro very quickly. The last 3 years, this season and the last 2 seasons, Lisandro hasn't played football. And he's got a 5-year contract. So we've only seen him play football 2 years. We need to make a decision about Lisandro. Left wing, we don't play with 2 10s anymore. The left wing would have been sorted. But we bought Cunha a 10 rather than a left winger. So now we need to go into the market and get a left winger based on our new system, our 4-3-3. And of course, we know we need a midfielders. I think we can all agree with that. But the centre-back is something that we didn't think about. But however, I did say that we did speak about Maguire. And I said, you know what? The fact that we want Maguire to stay, 32, 33, slow, immobile, the fact that we want him to stay shows that even though we have numbers in defense, our defenders are always injured. Always. So let me know. In regarding this player, I've seen a bit of him. I'm not going to lie and say I watch Nottingham Forest all the time and I see him all the time. I think he looks decent. I'm not going to make too much judgment. From now on, since we are linked with him, and I know other clubs are linked with him, I will now pay closer attention to the way that he plays the next time I watch Nottingham Forest. But if you guys have any information about this player, if you guys have watched him before, if you feel like he's good enough for United or not even good enough for United, whatever you feel, just let me know, comment below. Let me know how you feel about this story, about where we could go in terms of the transfer market, we might get one less if we do get another centre back, does it mean we're going to get one less midfielder? So only two midfielders? What does it mean if we decide to get a centre back? What does it mean for the centre backs that we have? What does it mean for Lissandro? What does it mean for Ligt? Let me know, guys. Let me know about this one. I'm not sure I fully believe this one, but if I see more sources, then yeah, I'll start taking that one a bit more seriously. Big up everybody, big up the chat. Speaking of defenders, coming off the back of that conversation about Man United potentially going into the market in the summer and buying another centre back, Harry Maguire has come out, as he does. He's another one who gets a microphone shoved in his face when United are not playing. How many Maguire quotes have we seen, have we spoken about when United are not playing, guys? So many. But Maguire has come out again and he's spoken about our young defenders. He said he tries to help them every day and give them advice. They need to realize they're playing for the most pressurized club in the world. Yes, Harry, trust me, we remember. We remember all the goals that you gave away since you've been here and all the mistakes you've made. Pressure bust pipes, bro. And you've been bust by the pressure many times, Harry. There will be tough times when they're questioned and people have opinions about them that happens to everyone. I'm sure it's even happened to Rio when he was one of the best. So it will happen to Lenny, it will happen to Aiden, and it will happen to any young centre-back. They need to know that they can handle those moments, but they must expect them because that's what comes with playing for this club. You know what? My little dig at Maguire to the one side is a slight dig I just made about Maguire, but putting that to the side and putting to the side the fact that Maguire hasn't been perfect. You know, he's had bad games, he's had bad seasons to the point where we wanted to sell him. But if we put that to the side and think about his experience, if we think about his know-how, and if we understand, despite the fact that he's not the greatest defender in the world, he's been in situations. He's played for England in high-pressured environments, high-pressured tournaments, finals, and all these things. So he is a good person to speak to in terms of understanding this stuff now. He's been here long enough now to understand this football club. And if the likes of Casemiro are leaving, then the question is, and that we've spoken about this before, is there anything inherently wrong with keeping Maguire for another year as a senior player, especially given the fact that Lissandro, as we know, is injury prone, and Dept, we haven't seen Dept in 3 months, and we were told his injury was only a few weeks. So I like this for Maguire. I do like this positively, speaking positively about these youngsters. But more importantly, guys, he's letting them know, listen, you're going to get it. You're going to get the criticism, the hate, all that stuff. And some of it will be natural because you're going to have bad games, so you will be criticized. Some of it won't be natural. But you're going to get it and you need to embrace it. Embrace it might not be the right word, but you need to manage it, understand it, and just expect it. Expect it. So that's good from Maguire. Well done, Maguire. Maguire recently he's been really trying to change his image, I believe. Good on him. Good on him. That's all I can say. Big up everybody, big up. Let's end on this one then, guys. Let's end on this. I'm not feeling well. I'm a bit ill today, so the show is gonna be a nice, hopefully concise show, straight to the point, giving you the news, giving you all the talking points, like I said before. So yeah, let's end on Yamal and what he said, and just, posing a question to the chat, something for you guys to think about, something for us to think about as a community, not just as a community, but something for the football world, I think, to think about. TK in the chat says we need to forget Ligt. Sad though, man. Even if he comes back, how long before his next setback? I like Ligt, but enough is enough. Yeah, like I said, TK, it's just a shame, bro. It's a shame. Like you said, I like Ligt, TK. It's a shame. And if we're gonna talk about Ligt, we're gonna have to throw Martinez in there because Ligt's only been here 2 years. His first year, he wasn't injured, but this second year, he's injured a lot. Martinez is in the same boat for me. I think, as I said, both of them. It's a shame because Martinez is so good on the ball. When Martinez plays on the ball, we are much better. Passing it from the back, we are much better. He faces that ball between the lines, through the lines, so precisely. We missed that from Martinez. Off the ball, he can be a liability. His height, his lack of pace, all these things. But on the ball, we miss Martinez on the ball. And once again, just like Ligt, it's a shame. It's a shame that we're gonna have to go. And this is one thing that we also need to make way for, make allowances for, because sometimes we're gonna buy players for 40, 50 million, and after a season they're gonna get injured, and that money is down the drain. Look at Mason Mount. Look at Martinez. Look at Ligt. 3 players that we probably won't get our money's worth from. You know? And that's just football, guys. But what do we do? What do we do, TK? What do we do? Anyway, like I was saying, let's quickly read Yamal's. This bleach blonde stuff that everyone's doing on top of their headpiece, it's strange. I'm an old man, I guess. These youngsters, I don't get it. But it is what it is, you know. Pogba was doing the blue thing. But I feel like everyone's doing the beach blonde thing now. Everyone's doing it. So strange. TK says, I've been calling for the medical team to be investigated or replaced from top to bottom, plus the scouting. Only 1 game a week. What the hell will happen with more than 1 game a week? Exactly, TK. That's why medical department under scrutiny right now. Yeah. TK, the medical department thing is so weird, TK, because we've changed our main doctor about twice now in the last 4 years, I believe. I remember talking about the fact, was it maybe this season? Beginning of this season or beginning of last season when we bought the Arsenal doctor, and then the season before that we changed doctors. So we've changed doctors, mate. So we've tried, and it doesn't seem to be working. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I feel like the likes of Ligt, right? Ligt was injury prone before he got here. Mount was injury prone at Chelsea before he got here. So I don't know if I've thought about it enough. I used to think that, listen, our medical department is useless, it's the worst. But then we've changed doctors, and have we not noticed a difference? Has there been a difference? I don't know. I don't think I can make a judgment call yet. I haven't really put a lot of thought into it. And our scouts, do you know what I think? Everyone, most teams, most football clubs know every player that's out there. This is how I believe. This is what I believe in terms of scouting. You very rarely scout a player that no one else has scouted. If you're doing your job right, that little 19-year-old in Brazil that you've scouted, about 10 other people have scouted already. 2. All those little Caicedos, all these little gems, we know about them. Our scouts know about them. The difference is we don't take a risk. We don't pull the trigger while other teams do. So I don't know if it's a scouting department, you know, or is it the recruitment team that don't listen to the scouting department? Which one is it? And also, guys, I see you guys talking about Twan Sabi. Yeah, We need to keep an eye on the Twansebi situation. I guess that is evidence, right, of what we were like previously in terms of our medical department. But I guess the question I'm asking, has there been an improvement? We've tried to improve it. We've made changes to it. Do you guys see the improvement? And yes, Twansebi is still in the process of potentially suing the Manchester United medical department. TK says, my concern is the scouts are recommended us buying these brittle assets. Then the medical department ignores the player's past. That is interesting. Very interesting. So it's the profile. I feel like the scouts need to be given a certain profile, i.e., get physically robust footballers from now on. Those are the kind of footballers we need to scout, because that's the way the Premier League is heading back. I say heading back because we moved away from pace and power a little bit and we went to technical ability, which brings me on to Yamal's comment against Newcastle. And I've always said this on this channel. We can have these conversations. We can have nuanced conversations, but it's okay to understand what we are seeing. Yamal has said this about English football. You receive the ball and it feels like you've stolen something. 3 players come immediately. I don't know how technical players like Bruno survive there. He said it beautifully. I've always disliked, guys, the notion that the Premier League is the best league because it has the strongest and the most quickest players. I've always said what we're seeing when we watch the Premier League isn't just technical ability. What we're seeing is players who are very quick and very strong a lot of the times. Because the English football has always been less technical than other football around the world. And we in this country have always relied on the not just football, in anything. The British, when it comes to most sports, we're not good at a lot of sports. The British aren't good at a lot of sports. We are not good at a lot of things, but we call ourselves Great Britain. It's marketing. Once the British open the sport up to other people, we realize very quickly we're not good at it. Or other nations, or other cultures, whether it's tennis, and the Williams sisters showed us a thing or two, whether it's golf and Tiger Woods, whether it's Lewis Hamilton and Formula One, right? We usually invent sport and all we care about is, of course, winning, which is what sport is about, winning. But if you only care about winning and not how you win, which is also capitalism, you're going to win by any means necessary. And the quickest way to win is by having the biggest, strongest guys rather than the most technical guys sometimes. And that's what we keep seeing in the Premier League. And I feel like the reason why England won't win a tournament, they'll come close. But that's one of the reasons why England haven't even come close to winning a tournament. Because when it comes to the technical side of football and the tactical side of football, which you have to be good at when it comes to the international tournaments, we fall short. We fall short. So yes, club football, we can mix our foreign talent, our Brunos, our Thierry Henrys, our Cristiano Ronaldos with our English talent, and we can win Champions League. But strip that foreign talent away at international stage and just having a whole team of English talent, yeah, that's just pace and power. And it's okay. It's okay to think, that the stronger and the league that's strongest and quickest is the best league because it's got the most goals and everything. But it's also okay to think the Spanish league, even though it's not as quick, it's not as strong, it's okay to think that league might have the more technical players. And therefore, what do you like to watch? What kind of game do you like to watch? I love these kind of conversations, guys, because in some ways there is no right or wrong answer. It's just opinions and the way you see football and your mindset. And that's it. Football evolves all the time. It changes. Sometimes it comes full circle. TK will talk about cycles and coming full circle. TK might even say, has it changed that much? Really? So many different opinions, guys, when it comes to this. When it comes to technique. But I've asked this question. Some of the best players that we have seen, in my opinion, in Europe, around the world, I think if they played football in the Premier League, they wouldn't be as good. They wouldn't be as good. And it makes sense. The more you rely on your speed to get past a player rather than your technical ability, rather than doing a step over, not making him, doing something really skillful, you just kick the ball and run past them. Just use your speed. Dan James. The more you rely on that, the less you rely on your technical ability. It's just, that's it. Anyway, just a thought, guys. Just a thought. Leave me your thoughts as well. T said, good list of evidence, Turkish's evidence about the medical department includes Martial, Shaw, Pogba, Mount, Martinez, Ligt, Rashford. Yeah, I want to make sure we're not doing confirmation bias, guys. I want to make sure we're not looking, because we are Man United fans and we only know about Man United injuries. We think our medical department are the worst. I want to make sure that, you know me, that Arsenal, what's Arsenal medical department? Arsenal get a few injuries as well. Man City, Rodri. So I want to make sure that it's not feelings and it's actually based in substance. I actually think it is. I believe it is, but I'm just saying, guys. Just saying. Big up at Cho in the building, children. Big up Chosen and the chat walking right now, so I'll be just listening. Big up at Cho doing his steps. You know, you got to do your steps, bro. Get your steps in, my guy. 1,000 steps today. 1,000. 10,000 steps, my guy. Finally, footy is back, people, on Sunday. I don't care how shite we were against Newcastle, bro. I haven't even mentioned Newcastle once in the show. I'm not even going back. I'm not going to lie, guys. I haven't spoken about the Newcastle game at all. I don't want to. I don't think we need to. I think we said enough then. We spoke about Sesko being the PFA Fans Player of the Month. I just posed a few questions to the chat, whether he deserved it, how you think he's going, whether he's meeting your expectations. What were your expectations of him? Sorry, guys. Just pose a few questions as I do in the chat. So we started off with Sesko. We moved on to Cunha, who's had a few quotes. As I've said, Cunha speaks a lot when we're not playing. We also mentioned Ineos and Ineos potentially scrapping the spiderweb tent. That tent that looks, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm not that bothered. I'm not actually that bothered. Even though I take the mick, I'm not really that bothered about the tent. But apparently Ineos might scrap the tent look, the tent effect, if you want to call it that, because it will cost too much money. Mazraoui's back. Transfer priorities might shift. There's also news that because of the injuries of our defenders, Lissandro, Ligt, that we might go in for a centre-back, and the Nottingham Forest centre-back has been mentioned as a, that's it, TK, circus tent. The Nottingham Forest centre-back has been mentioned as a potential purchase for us in the summer. I don't know too much about that player, guys. If you guys have any insight, I don't know everything, guys, you know. So if you guys can verify how good this player is, how good you think he is, let me know. Let me know. And of course we ended on Yamil. I keep forgetting this guy's name, yeah. I always get it wrong. Yamil Lamau. I get that Y and the L mixed up. I say was it Yamil Lamau? Lamine Yamal. What do you mean? You mean Yamal? You mad? You mean Yamal? Bumbo. You mean Yamal? You mean Yamal? Nah, man, we can't. I can't say them thing there, man. Yamin Lamal. Lamin Lamal. That name, yeah, fucks with me. I swear. Lamin Lamal. Sorry, let's do it again. Last time. Yamin Lamin. Nah, man, the Y should be first. It don't make sense to my brain. It's Lamin Yamal. Bro, that name is not Spanish, bro. Don't ever tell me that name's Spanish, bro. A man called Lamin Yamal is playing for Spain, bro. Nah, man, he should be called Estevez. Or something, bro. What do you mean? Torres or something. Something Ez. Something ends with Ez is Spanish, bro. Torres Estevez. Banderas. Antonio Banderas. Anyway, people. Anyway, the circus tent might not happen. It might not happen. Our game against Aston Villa on Sunday, guys. Friday is our match preview. I'm not going to talk about the Villa game until Friday. But I will say this, though. I will say this before Friday's big match preview when we go through the press conference and all these things. I will say this, guys. If we play anything like how we have been playing the last few games, we will be beaten by Aston Villa. Period. Let's just call it out. Something needs to happen. Between the Newcastle game and the Villa game, we need to do something. Something needs to change. We need to find form. Something needs to happen because our performances the last 3 games have been absolutely dire. Something big needs to happen for us to play some football, return to the first 3 or 4 games. Otherwise, Villa will beat us. PSG 1, Chelsea 0. And on that note, TK, my guy, at your my peoples, we will leave the chat. Champions League is on. I should really have done a watch along for a game today or this week. I've been ill, man. Haven't been present. But chat, big up the chat, big up the community. Good show, very nice, quick, concise show, in and out. We will be back on Friday for the match preview. That's going to be the main show this week, guys. The preview to the Aston Villa match. We have to beat Aston Villa, guys. We just have to beat them. So I'm going to log off like you guys and watch the Champions League games. Big up the community. I love the community. Big up the chat. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we will be back here in 2 days' time on a Friday, guys. We have to beat Villa. If we don't beat Villa, I'm smashing my laptop like an angry child.